Hello, my name is Kenneth L. Johnson, and I'm a black man. I'm also a son, father, diversity recruiter, and app developer. I come here to the Diversity and Inclusion Research Conference 2021 as myself. I brought my whole self to work today. Yes, work. Not my 9 to 5, but real work. You see, this is my life's work. I had a company called East Coast Executives. We're headquartered in Harlem, New York. My firm is a diversity recruitment firm, and I honestly believe I'm the world's #1 diversity recruiter. I'm here today because last year in 2020, the Economic State of Black America report was released by the U.S. Joint Economic Committee. The report shows that Black Americans have made substantial progress over the past 2 decades. For example, Black college graduation rates more than doubled. Incarceration rates for Black Americans fell by nearly 1/3 between 2007 and 2017. Now that data is noteworthy, but glaring inequities remained in the report. The research indicates that the Black unemployment rate of 15.4 remains twice as high as the white unemployment rate of 10.1. The number of Blacks who are college graduates has more than doubled since 1990, from 11% to 25%, but still lags far behind that of whites. The median wealth of Black families is still only $17,000. That's less than 1/10 that of white families, $171,000. Now, all of this deeply concerns me, and as diversity and inclusion professionals, it should concern you as well. About 15 years ago, government officials and economists began to pay attention to both the high incarceration rate and low unemployment rates of Black men, and subsequently, their consequences for Black families and communities. Policy efforts ensued, particularly in the area of mass incarceration and services to help incarcerated individuals re-enter society. Now, interestingly enough, little effort was made at the time or for any time since to improve employment outcomes among Black men and Black youth. And even today, the efforts to address this remain disturbingly weak. Black men have the highest unemployment rates of any race or gender group. We also have the lowest labor force participation rates. Black men are neither privileged nor protected in the American workplace. Data indicates extremely high rates of prime age Black men, those between 25 and 54, are without work. During the height of the pandemic, that number reached over 33%. And recent reports suggest that over 25% of those have not worked over the past year. So it's no surprise that the median annual earnings of Black men are only about half that of white men. Black men at $20,000. The Black male employment epidemic is extremely troubling, not just for me, but for society as a whole. The numbers also obscure another important fact: frustration. The Bureau of Labor Statistics didn't account for many Black men, those who may be underemployed, or they've just quit looking for work altogether. Adjusting for this fact further reduces measured Black male employment and earnings rates. Research suggests that that number could be as much as a -17% variable. So what do we do? For decades, research has documented earnings and employment gaps between Black and white Americans, and between Black men and other men more specifically. With that research, they've analyzed the causes. Mr. Harry Holzer, non-resident senior fellow in economic studies at the Brookings Institution and former chief economist for the U.S. Department of Labor, conducted a study. Now, the result of this study led Mr. Holzer to believe that there are 4 major causes of lower employment and earnings among Black men. I personally believe that all of us here can have impact on 2 areas. The proximate causes, which are lower education, lower skills, and limited work experience. And the ultimate causes, which Mr. Holzer lists as discrimination and social spatial isolation. Now, I don't claim to have the solution for all the outlined factors, but I'm positive that we can have a substantial impact on addressing the proximate causes outlined in the Brookings Institution study. That's why I created blkbox. blkbox is a career consciousness portal for Black men. We honestly believe that through continued research and data, we can develop strategic partnerships with hiring influencers, education providers, and centers of technology to address the proximate causes of lower education, limited skills, and no work experience. And in turn, these advancements will support those that are working on the other causes and factors outlined in the study. I encourage you all to visit eastcoastexecutives.com or even visit blkbox.tech and download the app. And let's work together to address this issue of Black male employment. through a diversity, equity, and inclusion lens. As a Black male, I implore you to see that we indeed do belong. I look forward to working with you all because until we all have an opportunity to experience productive work and careers, our work as diversity and inclusion professionals remains incomplete. Thank you. My name is Kenneth L. Johnson. I'm the president of East Coast Executives, founder and developer of blkbox. Hey, Jay, what's going on? How was your day?
I'm good. I had a test.
You had a test. How'd you do?
I got a 100.
100, man, that's great. Wow, I'm proud of you.
What's that? What's blkbox?
Oh, blkbox is an app that I created to help Black men get jobs.
Pap, I want to be just like you.
Man, Jay, I created that so you'd be better than me.